Hey guys, Liger0 JPS here, and here we are. We're going to be looking at the Master Grade Full Armor Gundam Thunderbolt. And I will say right now, it is a brick. Mostly because, one, if you look at the joints, yeah, it's that tubing thing they use, and it's all over from like here all the way up to the shoulders, and from the leg, and like from the hips all the way down to the ankles. It doesn't hinder posability too much, but it is a pain in the ass, and I don't like it. Also, he is a brick because I also know some of these things will be in the way, and I've been having issues with this one shield that does not like stand on, and it's been giving me issues ever since I had this thing together over the last couple of days. So this thing classifies as a brick because it has very limited posability overall. And even when I had the armor off, there was some posability, but it just felt hindered. Now he can hold these shields normally because there is a peg in there, and he does have multiple hands. I did take a picture to send to a friend to show that I have built the base body. Well, I had mostly everything built. All I had to do was just build the armor on the body, because I already built the backpack and the accessories and everything else. But yeah, this thing, I don't care much. It does, because it's an RX-70, I think it's an RX-78. I'm gonna have to sleep that off for now. It does have a core fighter. Oh, I don't know, I can pop this thing up without popping that off, but it does have a core fighter. It's just like the RX-78 too. I would say like the 2.0, well, maybe the 3.0, but it does have a lot of stuff. It has core fighter, standard stuff, standard look even for the head. The head is slightly different because it has like a little antenna on the side. Hold on, actually, let me see if I can close one of my curtains, because oh, well, never mind, because the autofocus is trying to do its job, but it's the lighting. Okay, so that's a little bit better. So he has like a little antenna here on the top of his head. He has a standard look, which is unique because, so for all the stickers you get, there's stickers for like the head, like the eyes, the cameras, for front and back. All the thrusters, like on his legs and on the back, they have stickers. I didn't use them all because a lot of them are so tiny. Like, seriously. I'm also missing that piece, so I don't know where it popped off to. But like, there, those red parts, inside of them supposed to be like little stickers. I was not going to go through doing all that. But there is an option here on its head. So you have the choice of where you want to place the sticker. You can either, so that's a clear part you're looking at. So on his head, it's a clear part. Now, I put the sticker behind it, but you can put the sticker in front of it. And that goes front and back. Now, I'm not going to mess with articulation because it's, and I just felt something pop off. Oh, one of the many thrusters on this guy. And also, despite the fact that this thing is I call it a brick, it feels kind of loose in areas too. And he's side heavy too. technically, if he's not on this action base he comes with, he would be back heavy, but because he's on his action base, which is the same one that comes with like the Strike, Wing Zero, the old Wing Zero Master Grade, the Strike Rouge or Tori, Sword and Launcher Strike, and I think a few other Master Grades that have this. He is top. Also, it doesn't use the standard base connector. It uses different parts. So there's these two parts, and I can actually make it higher or shorter, but it's a whole different setup from the normal one. And he does have an actual piece that's connected into his butt and everything. Now, like I said, he is top. He is a brick, and honestly, trying to actually make him pose with all these things and get his arms up is kind of hard. And I mean, he is a decent master grade, but it is so painful to try to even pose him. Now, something that I didn't realize, I didn't think he would have it, but he has beam saber handles. You can see one right up in there, that little white part sitting in the back. That's a beam saber handle there. You got one here on each side, and you do come with pink beams. Sadly, I put them back in the box because I didn't want to mess with him. Now, if you wonder what counts as the armor, so the armor parts that counts on this guy would be all this blue and white here, this white, this blue, and this red here on the front, the blue on the waist, the blue on his legs and the side part, the white side parts, and the blue on his feet and the entire backpack. And all the shields and weapons count part of this too. Because if you take it all off, you're just left with a basic Gundam. And yeah, you're left with the basic Gundam, and the only main weapon you have is that beam saber on his back. Now, like this cannon, it does swivel side to side. It's on a slight hinge, so it can rotate and swivel. And you also got a missile pod that opens up with missiles inside. Those are not stickers, those are actually orange plastic. So anywhere where there's missiles, it's orange plastic. So that means the back here, also on the shoulders, front skirts as well. I don't know if the side skirts have them. Oh yeah, side skirts too. This guy's saying the camera is just going to keep falling over because why not? I will make your camera fall. Because I am Thunderbolt. So all the skirt armor has missiles, front, back, and sides. And also the legs has them too. So a lot of the plates are like duplicates too, so that's not a problem. So you will get a few extra here and there parts. And now that comes off. And that's not something I wanted to see happen. I'm gonna try and get this back up there. I will admit though, one thing about this, it feels certain parts, and that's just my fault for just hitting the stand. I'm also getting a new desk soon anyway, so. And his fingers popped off. because these are interchangeable fingers, this actually goes in and it actually plugs in solid. Feels better than what the Blitz had for his. Because you just basically do that and then plug this part back into the arm. Oh, the shield. Actually, before I do that, I want to plug this back into the arm. Because you actually have a... It actually does kind of is sandwiched on the arm, on the arm. So it kind of holds well enough. And normally these hands are actually folded back inwards. And they have to slide up to fold out. But I don't know why this one shield and hand does not hold. Though I would glue it in there, but I don't want to, just in case I have to put this in a box, put it back in its box, and prepare to move some in the future one day. I don't want to, so I just kind of just stuck at the mercy of this thing. And honestly, trying to get this thing in here right now, it's a chore. So give me a second. Luckily, I remember I still have some cement glue, so hopefully this will hold. But yeah, this thing is a brick. It's one of those few master grades that I have, and I think I have like 5 others that's classified as a brick. 6 others, you know, like the Full Armor Unicorn, the Victory 2, Excess Gundam, you know, things like those, the Full Armor Double Zeta, Crossbone Gundam X1 Full Cloth. Those are bricks. Like, it has posability. Like, don't get me wrong, this thing has posability, but the joints, like in the elbows and the knees, they get partially hindered by, you know, the cloth, because it's going to restrain some of it. And so, like, you can get the double jointed bend in there, just know you're going to be hindered quite a bit. Because, like, this thing, it's a crazy great take on the original Gundam, like the RX-178. The RX-78 2, and this being a Thunderbolt version, like, it's great. It looks phenomenal. It's just that, you know, 1, his stand is wobbly. 2, it's the cloth that if you use it, you're gonna have some hindrance, and this thing turns into a brick. Heck, even some people on Reddit said it's a brick, and I agree. This thing is a brick. It's a unique build design, but it's just a brick. If you just want something to stand there on your shelf to look intimidating and imposing, sort of menacing with a nice silhouette, this thing would do it for you, but just don't try to pose them too much, especially in the upper body. So that is it for the Gundam Thunderbolt, Full Armor Gundam Thunderbolt. So there is an add-on to this thing that gives it a base where you can actually hold everything, the backpack, the shield, the armor, and just have the Gundam standing there. I'm not going out my way for that thing. He's just not worth it overall. I mean, this Gundam, it looks great. It looks phenomenal. Like, I love the design and everything. while I wasn't too crazy of a fan of the original Gundam's head, this one actually has grown on me quite a bit. And it's just one of those things that it's just the look of it stands out enough that, you know, you see it, you think, oh yeah, that's the RX-78 too. And anyway, wait, that's not RX-78 This is Gundam Thunderbolt RX-78 too. Slightly different, darker color scheme, kind of evil looking, but it's still a Gundam. Also, the core fighter is different. It's a different core fighter it's a different core fighter look. I'm not going to go taking off the upper half and the lower half just to show that core fighter. But also, the clear parts are not like clear blue or something. They're like clear green. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to regret this. I'm going to... well, actually, that was easier than I thought. Until that happens. I'll cry about this later. But yeah, this is the core fighter. It's very, very unique. And yes, the pilot does rotate around in there, but he's all centered, and I'm not going to try to fight to put him back in proper place. And now I'm going to have to fight to put his shield back. Well, either I have to replace the shield with a different one, or I might just change the shields around. Because I really don't see why I have issues with... oh, and yeah, I think the claw grip, the claw hand is kind of broken now. So yeah, this is gonna need super glue. I mean, it's not, and also it's because the C clip where this thing was attached to wasn't the best to begin with. So yeah, the full armor Gundam Thunderbolt. It's not bad. It's a brick, sadly, and the thing about bricks is they're just there to stand looking menacingly. And I'm not going to keep messing with this because it's just going to drive me up a wall. But yeah. And he's just lopsided, and I don't know how to fix it. So yeah, this is the full armor Gundam Thunderbolt. It was a nice masquerade to build, but just not something I can fully recommend. And there's so many parts too. He's not actually one of the worst ones I built or the longest. I think the longest ones I ever built still goes to the full armor Unicorn or Sazabi. But yeah, I mean, out of a 10, he's like a 7. But he's still good. So I'll see you guys later.